Your sales tax is doing fantastically. We still have one more month and that will close out the year of revenue for sales tax. You have a check register from December 4th until today of all of the checks that we've cut, because the last time I was in front of you with finance was December 3rd. If you have any questions on any of those checks, just send me a text or an email and we'll get those figured out. Then you have the financials ending 12/31 of 2020. Again, because most of our revenues have a 2-month lag, so there's nothing really that has happened for 2021 except just a few normal expenses for operations. So 2 things that we have done. I've just accepted the quote for our property and auto and workers' comp insurance. Remember, I told y'all last year I was trying to get that year-end quote moved from September 28th to February 1 to get us out of hurricane season. We were able to do that. They did accept our cancellation and reissue for February 1, so we will no longer get quotes in the middle of hurricane season, which hopefully will help us out in the long run. But it'll still be just 1 year's expense in each year. We just changed the year. Also, this year was the first year of our Go Mesa revenue where we got a residual check back from the royalty check that we received. So when we bonded out our Go Mesa money, our projected revenue was supposed to be right at $700,000 a year. I told y'all last year that the revenues had been more than $700,000 for the past 2 years. 1 year it was 783, and the next year it was 1.25 million. So the first year did not count towards residual, but the second year, when the federal year ended, which it ended on September 30, so in November we got our first residual check to the tune of about $250,000 that we will be able to use for drainage projects. I know Mr. Delat had spoke about wanting to do some drainage things, that we do have those extra funds that we could dump towards projects, but they will probably not be expected to be seen again as oil and gas.
Yeah.
Probably gonna go bye-bye for a while.
Yeah.
So we have a little bit of extra money to do something with, but we can't. I won't budget for it next year
It'll
because
be a recurring thing that
I don't think it's gonna
yeah.
happen. Right.
What was that, 250 you said?
It's half of the excess over the 700 that we anticipated or expected to come in on the bond. So the way it works is if you get, so we expected 700, we got 1.25 million. So half of that excess goes into bank account to prepay or early repay those callable bonds or the bond when it becomes callable, and the other half is residual. They cut a check back to us. We deposit it in the general fund and we can do drainage projects with it, or any project that meets the Go Mesa requirements. I was hoping it would be that much every year, but
Well, you know, 2020 kind of way goes.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, if y'all have any questions about anything,
Mr. Chairman, I got one question. It's not on this. I
Okay.
keep getting people asking every couple of days about Bass Pro bonds, when it's going to be paid off. I went to the city of Denham Springs and they said it was paid off in April. And that's what they were basing their budget on.
I believe they are paid off this spring.
Okay. Yeah, I've been telling people April, but I don't want to be wrong. You know, I'd rather be, if it's May, I'd rather tell them May.
I don't have that in front of me, but Scooter, I can tell you for sure it's this spring sometime.
Okay, because what they told their bonding agent, whoever it was, told them, you wasn't there, but some guy with COVID. Anyhow, he was on the phone. Might have been their financial person. Said they were going to get a $1.3 million bump this year from the Bass Pro.
That's about right, yeah.
Because they had a $1.3 million project they were wanting to bond out. And I said, why bond something out when you pay cash?
I was at that meeting.
Were you at that meeting? Oh, yeah, you were. Yeah, that's right. You came in, you were. And so that was correct information we were receiving? Okay, it was good. Sometime April, May, springtime.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was, Mr. Poole was the one saying,
Yeah, right. That's right.
why are we doing this if we know we're gonna start getting
Exactly.
a half extra a year?
And I've talked to him since then, and he said, I think we're on board to not bond this money and raise rates,
Yeah.
you know, on gas, which bothered me a lot.
They've already raised their rates. They raised the rates effectively.
Well, yeah, but they lowered mine. Cause they lowered commercial inside the city, but raised everybody else outside the city. I don't know, but hey, that's on them, I don't, you know, I just want to answer that one question.
Yeah, I
Appreciate
just
it.
want to echo something Jennifer said. You and the administration made a great decision last year to bond out that Go Mesa money. Because that Go Mesa money comes from the Gulf of Mexico oil leases, and royalties. And if they stop drilling in the Gulf of Mexico, and there's no more lease money, there's no more oil revenue money, those annual payments that y'all have forgotten are gone. And the cool thing about what y'all did is you bonded against that and took all your money up front. And as you know, if those oil revenues decrease or go away altogether, you all are liable for it. You have your money, and if the money goes away, if the payments go away, no, that costs y'all a penny. So that was a good
Smooth.
decision.
We get to stop
Yeah.
making our debt transfer, because that's where the debt payment comes from, is that annual revenue
Right.
transfer.
That was a great decision on everybody's part.
Well, it sounded like it, that's why we did what we did.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, appreciate it.
Anything else, gentlemen?
Nope. Well,
Thank you. Yes, sir.
all right.
Thank you,
Thank
Ms.
you.
Jennifer.
All right, other business. Anyone have any other business? All right, I need a motion to adjourn. Motion by Mr. King, second by Mr. McMorris. All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.